Everyone, and welcome to our Friday live stream. It is Factual Fridays. I'm so excited to be back. So before I hop in and let me introduce myself. So I'm Nikisa Jackson. I am from Georgia. I'm a wife, a mom, author, speaker, life coach, and HIV advocate. I run this amazing nonprofit called Anaya Space Incorporated, where we provide holistic care services to women living with HIV. And that is who I am representing right now, as you can see. So if you're not already following us, go ahead and follow us. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Please go ahead and like this video, and also share this video out. Put it on your page, share with other people. I'm going to share some very important information about HIV prevention today. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been live with you all, but I am back. I am back. I am back. So before I share, I'm going to share a few tips about HIV prevention, and I'm going to tell you why. But before I do that, I want you to know that we have a gala. We have a gala. I'm so excited about this gala, and tickets are on sale. And if you get your ticket by next week at the gala, I'll give you a free copy of my book called Life After HIV. You get this free book. It will be signed for you inside of your gift bags. So definitely you want to go ahead and get your ticket. I just posted the link. So what do we do? What is this gala for? We want to celebrate women living with HIV, and we're also raising funds to open a physical location. So we would love for you to come. Also, we are accepting sponsors. So if you want to sponsor, or you know of someone that may want to sponsor the work that we do, have them send us an email at admin@anayaspace.org so we can get them the information. We have various sponsorship levels, and also we take general donations. You can go to our website to donate. You can donate via Cash App, donate via PayPal. You can donate as a monthly giver. So definitely, if you go check out the site, you will be able to see where you can donate. So that's what we would like for you to do to support our work. That is going to be held on August the 20th. And I'll remind you at the end of this video, but I want to hop into our topic. So we do these mini educations every Friday at 7 p.m. We've had a break for about 2 weeks, so we are back again. And this Friday, we are going to be talking about HIV prevention. And that will be our focus this month. Every month we have a focus. Last month, we focused on mental health. This month, we're going to focus on that, because National HIV Testing Day is June 27th. So you're about to see the Walgreens posting free HIV tests. You're about to see mobile testing vans out, people having little pop-ups to do HIV testing, because it is National HIV Testing Day. And there is a theme this year that I absolutely love that we're going to actually talk about next week. I thought that it would be a good idea to talk about that on next Friday. But this Friday, I want to talk to you about HIV prevention. So I want to share with you a few things about HIV prevention. I want you to know that HIV can still be prevented, right? Transmission can still be prevented. And I just want that to be very, very clear. And I want to share with you some ways that HIV can be prevented. So number one, abstinence, right? Through sexual transmission, abstinence. So if you're not having sex, you can't get HIV from yourself, right? And so if you're not having sex, that's one way. So I always like to mention that because that is one way to prevent HIV. But also, let's talk about risk reduction. We're going to talk about risk. The proper word is risk reduction. And what you do is you reduce your risk of getting an HIV diagnosis. So the first thing is condoms. Condoms still work. Condoms are actually the most common risk reduction strategy, right? They still reduce transmission 70 to 80%. Decreased risk of transmitting HIV 70 to 80% with condom use, right? 70 to 80%, right? Another one is discussing your HIV status and testing dates prior to having sex. You need to discuss it. When was the last time you got tested? What kind of test did they use? Have you had any unprotected sex since that time, right? And we know the definition of what we consider unprotected sex is different now, right? So just because you didn't use a condom does not mean it was unprotected. But we talked about that in a previous video, and you can go check that out. Getting tested with your partner. That way you know your status and their status at the same time. That is how risk reduction, because people living with HIV can still have safe sex. Let me say it again. People living with HIV can still have safe sex and still not transmit HIV. So the reason you go get tested so you can know your status and know what you need to do in order to reduce your risk of an HIV diagnosis, right? Reduce the number of people that you have sex with. Less people that you have sex with, the less chance that something could change with your status. So if you know that you've had sex with this one person and that person has not, and that person has been monogamous with you, and y'all have been tested and both of y'all are HIV negative, it would stay that way. That is depending on if both people are monogamous, though. We know the world that we live in now, and we have to be honest with ourselves. Limiting alcohol and drug intake. Let's talk about that. When you use drugs or alcohol, you just do not make the same decisions that you make when you're not using drugs or alcohol. Let's just be clear, right? When you have an alcoholic drink, you're feeling good, you make decisions. You may not have the same standards that you have when you were not drinking, when using drugs. These all work on the brain. And I know that we are some smart people, and we are really, really smart. I think some of us think we can handle alcohol, we can handle this, we can handle that. But I'm telling you, it does affect some of your decision making abilities. That's what I want to say. It affects your decision making abilities, right? Get tested and treated for other STDs. Having other STDs increases your chance of getting an HIV diagnosis. It increases that. So you want to get tested and treated for other STDs. The HIV test only tests for HIV, does not test for herpes, does not just test for chlamydia, does not test for gonorrhea. So get tested and treated for other STDs, right? And for drug users, make sure you're not use IV drug users. Make sure they use clean needles with water and not using clean needles. Clean needles or cleaning needles with water and bleach before using, if sharing with others. Okay. I am not an advocate for drug use, but let's be clear. The facts are the facts. I know the area that I work in. So if you see me in other capacities and I can't believe she's talking about that, listen, this is where I've been called. So I'm just going to state the facts when I am representing Anaya Space, because this is stuff you got to talk about the truth. And this is the truth, right? So yeah, those are some methods of risk reduction, but it also requires a behavior change. Let's talk about behavior change. It requires behavior change. So if you're somebody who you're like, I'm just used to not using condoms in sex, I don't like to use condoms, your behavior may need to change about that if you know you are having multiple sex partners. You cannot depend on someone else's you cannot depend on someone else's test results to use them as yours. So I see this commonly where people are like, well, my girlfriend or my partner did not test positive, so I'm not going to test positive, right? So you need to make sure you're getting your own test done, but also change your behaviors, right? It is hard though. I wish I could tell you it was easy. I wish I could tell you it was easy to change your behavior, but it is hard. So you have to work at it. You got to get some accountability, right? If you like, hey, this is a real problem, you may need to consider some coaching or some counseling. And also you may need access to resources. Maybe you don't have the resources to get condoms, right? So maybe you need to find out where they're giving out condoms at so you can get some condoms, and then do it over time, right? Just slowly do it over time. And then there is something called harm reduction. Harm reduction versus risk reduction, right? We talked about risk reduction. Let's talk about harm reductions, right? Harm reduction. And so that is where we get into using things like needle exchanges and things like that. And then also that is where we get into the U equals U that we discussed, where undetectable equals untransmittable and things like that. So making sure people are on treatment and things like that. I won't go into treatment. It's called treatment as prevention and HIV viral suppression. So being undetectable is undetectable equals untransmittable. So that is an example of harm reduction. Okay. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about. I won't go into detail about treatment as prevention on this live. These are supposed to be mini educations. I just wanted to talk to you about reducing your risk of HIV. On today, we have National HIV Testing Day on June 27th. So make sure you go get tested. If it's been a year, if it's been 6 months, if it's been 3 months, definitely you want to go get HIV tests. They're going to be pretty open and pretty public about where you can get those at. in June. And when I come back next week, because next week is the weekend of the 18th, so it's gonna be the 17th that I'll come. The week after that is actually going to be leading up to HIV testing day. So I want you to go ahead and develop a plan. We'll talk about that next week. So I hope that this was helpful. Remember, some of the tips I shared about behavior changes is very important. Abstinence, using condoms because they still work. I know we think they don't work, they work. And that's what I have for you. I'm going to drop the link to our gala. We would love for you to come help us raise money, come have fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a keynote speaker. We are going to really just really celebrate women living with HIV. That's what I want to say. We're really going to celebrate. We're really going to pour into you. We're going to tell you what we've done these past 4 years, and we're just going to have a good time. So definitely come. We'll have door prizes. We're going to have good food. So it is a gala. Dress to impress. It's the pink and red gala. So you want to dress up for this one. Don't come in your jeans and t-shirt. I mean, if you do, that's fine. But we prefer that you dress up for this one and just come out and celebrate all the work that we've done. It's going to be held in Alpharetta, Georgia, and we are just so excited to host this gala. It's going to be a great time. So that's all that I have for y'all. Remember, National HIV Testing Day is June 27th, and you will be able to get tested in many places. They'll just be widely available for you, and I'll be dropping some of those places soon. So I just want to remind you to go get tested this June. That is a part of HIV prevention. Knowing your status is very important, and I'm going to share with you the theme for this year on next week. Okay. So thank y'all for joining. Like I said, these are mini lessons. We'll be back next week. I hope that you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.